feel Biden's prone to gaffes, or was this just an arrogant, ignorant comment?
Well, good morning. I think Biden, we are used to the kind of almost ridiculous things that Biden now says. It's actually quite sad that we've got a president of the so-called leader of the free world who continually interferes in our own ideas of what's happening in the United Kingdom. I mean, we saw his visit to, he actually only stayed, I think it was something like 18 hours in Northern Ireland, in part of the United Kingdom, when he was on his visit. And he spent something like 8 or 9 hours of that sleeping or in his hotel. So it was a very short visit. He annoyed people then by some of the things he said. But, you know, what was really ridiculous about this, these remarks that he made at this fundraising do was that he actually couldn't even get the name of the Belfast Good Friday Agreement right, or the name of the Windsor Accord or the protocol. He talked about the Irish Accords, which has got absolutely no, nothing in any kind of documents talk about the Irish Accords. But I think we just will assume, I mean, I certainly will assume that Biden will not be the president next year. I really can't see how the American people could vote again for him. So I think we just have to kind of ignore it. But what I would like to see, I have to say, Esther, is that our own government sometimes should react, to these things. They never say anything. Biden gets away, and a lot of other people in America get away with saying quite ridiculous things about Northern Ireland with no understanding of the United Kingdom and what's actually happening here in Northern Ireland. But they never speak out and criticise. They never say anything. So he can get away with it over and over again.
Kate, do you think that Biden is anti-British, or do you think he's just, things like this, he's just showboating to a part of the electorate in America that he needs to keep on side for the next presidential election, something that you could argue lots of politicians in all countries do?
I think he's not necessarily anti-British, as more absolutely obsessed about Ireland and his Irish ancestry. And I think that's actually more than just, for the Irish diaspora vote, which obviously he wants to get. He's always shown an interest in it. He's always taken a view that is very, very Republican nationalist. I mean, for example, back in the middle 80s, he was responsible for acting to stop people being extradited back to the United Kingdom, who we knew, and there was intelligence and there was actual cases against people who had committed terrorism offences from the IRA. So he's always been supportive of that. He never spoke out against the money being raised in the pubs and clubs in America, most of which went back to actually fund the IRA. So I don't think he's actually anti-British as such. I don't think he really cares very much for the United Kingdom, and he certainly sees as one of his aims is to, while he talks about protecting the so-called, Belfast Agreement, or whatever he wants to call it, he's not actually interested in the real peace problem, an issue that we need in Northern Ireland, which other presidents have shown a lot more genuine interest than he has.